Hello, welcome to Everyday Living with Penny. My name is Penny Malone. I'm your host today. And today I've got a full menu for you, some of our house favorites. It's the chicken and wild rice casserole, and I have some Brussels sprouts that's made with Parmesan and breadcrumbs, and I also have some homemade rolls. So to start out with, we're going to do the casserole, and it's kind of like a green bean casserole minus the French onions and add chicken. So just a few little changes. This recipe I had originally found on my favorite blog, southernplate.com, but I changed it up a little bit from what she had, so made some additions. And we're going to start out with a quart of green beans. These are green beans from that we canned this summer. I'm just going to pour this in the bowl. Okay. And I have made some long grain wild rice in the microwave. This is just the box kind. You don't have to do everything from scratch unless you just want to. This took about 10 minutes in the microwave. I'm going to stir it up just a little bit so it's good to go. So pour that in with your green beans. And I used the flavor packet that was already in the chicken or in the rice box, and some butter. Just make your rice according to what's on their package. Okay, we'll mix this up real quick, just a little bit. And you could use this as a side dish or you can use it as a main dish. I usually just use it as a main dish, but it is very, very popular at the house. Very good. Okay, so now I have a 12-ounce can of chicken that I have shredded up. Now, again, you can do your own chicken if you wanted to, or if you're looking for a shortcut, just buy the canned chicken. Okay, then I have cream of chicken soup. And I have cream of mushroom. Okay, we'll mix this up real good. I've got my oven preheating to 375. So your rice, even if it's still a little bit underdone, it's okay, because you're going to bake this for about 30 minutes, so it'll finish cooking out in the oven. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to add some salt and pepper just to taste. You know, you don't have to do anything extravagant. Dab of salt. And I like to put a little garlic powder. I think I put a little garlic in everything. I love garlic. Then we've got some sliced almonds. Now this is one of the small packages. You don't want to use all of it, so you want to keep about a fourth of the bag, so about that much to put on top. Okay, let's mix it up again. Throw it out. I think I'm the messiest cook in the world. Okay. Now this is some Parmesan that's got some Italian seasoning in it. I'm gonna put just a tad bit. Okay. All right, so now I've got me a 9x13 pan, and we're going to spray the bottom of it with cooking spray. And then just pour your mixture into your pan. Okay. And just spread it out even. And if you wanted to make this a vegetarian dish, you could leave out your soups and leave out the chicken. Like I said, it's kind of like the green bean casserole recipe, just minus the French onions. Okay. So now I'm gonna take a little more of the Parmesan and just barely sprinkle it on the top. And then I have about half a block of mozzarella that I've shredded up. So you don't want a huge amount on top. Okay. And last but not least, we've got the rest of our almonds. Sprinkle them as evenly as possible. Okay. Now we're ready for our oven. Again, like I said, it's preheated to 375 degrees, and we're going to bake it for about 30 minutes. Okay, while we're waiting on that to bake, I'm going to go ahead and get the Brussels sprouts ready to go, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Egan Construction in Gate City is a fully licensed electrical, industrial, commercial, and residential contractor whose services include maintenance on home or corporate offices, custom designed kitchen renovations, demolitions, insurance restorations due to water dryouts, wind damage, or fire, licensed interior designing and architectural drawings, full excavations. They're licensed in Virginia and Tennessee. That's Egan Construction, 345 Water Street in Gate City.
Now here we're going to make our broccoli. I usually do about a cup of water in the bottom of a pan like this, and I use frozen. Let's turn this down for just a little bit. I use a frozen broccoli. So it's kind of going to steam, but where I've put about a half a stick of butter, it's going to make a sauce. And I was just telling them that I used to not like Brussels sprouts at all. And growing up, because it was always bitter. And I just wasn't crazy about it. But this past Christmas, my aunt fixed it, and she put garlic and salt and pepper, and she had all this butter and stuff in it. It's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try it. This is really good. So a couple weeks later, I decided, well, I'm gonna try it myself and see if I can come up with something else different. So this is what I came up with. Putting your, this was just, like I said, frozen Brussels sprouts. I've got about a cup of water in the bottom and then about a half a stick of butter. And I'm going to salt and pepper it. And I'm going to put just a little bit of garlic. Okay, I've got the Parmesan that's got the Italian blend in it. So we're going to sprinkle that across the top. Don't have to put a whole bunch. And then I've got some Italian breadcrumbs. I'm just going to sprinkle those across the top. Now you don't do anything else. If you want to, you can cover it with a lid, or you can just let it go like this on the stove. And I let it, usually put it down to between medium and high heat, and just let it cook for about 10 minutes, and then we're ready to serve it. So here's our Brussels sprouts. I keep saying broccoli and I'm sorry, but it's Brussels sprouts. Once you're ready to plate it, just put how many ever you're wanting on your plate, and then get you some of the sauce and pour over it with a spoon or however. It's so good, and if you cook it long enough, it loses that bitter flavor. And that's why I like it. But like I said, growing up, I could not stand Brussels sprouts, but I love them now. So we're going to get ready to, I've got our chicken and wild rice casserole out of the oven, and it's sitting on the stove, and we're going to make our rolls here in just a minute, so I'll be right back. Okay, now to make our rolls. Some people call these biscuits, some people call them rolls. These are some of the best bread, whether you call it biscuits or rolls, that you'll ever eat. They're very dense and heavy, so it's perfect for butter and apple butter or whatever you want to put on it. So what we're going to start with is I have a bacon mix here. We are going to put 4 cups of bacon mix. And if you want to sift it, you can. I usually don't, but if you want to, you can. Okay. And I have my pan here. I had preheated my oven to 450 degrees, and I have melted some butter in the bottom, about a half a stick. So the next thing we're going to be adding is a cup of sour cream. Let me get a spoon. Okay, and the next thing we're going to be putting in is a citrus drink. It can be whichever flavor or whichever company you like, Pepsi or Coke companies, whichever one you want. Yeah. See if I can open it without spewing. Start out with a cup. If you need more, you can always add it. Okay, so we'll pour that in. We're just going to whisk this up real good. These are so good. I made them for my mom and dad for the first time, probably a couple of years ago. And I think it's me and my brother, my mom and dad. I think we ate every one of these. They were so good. I made a half a batch though that time, so. And I used an iron skillet. It's really good in an iron skillet too. But for the ones that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to use this. Now, your dough is going to be a little wet. So basically, it's kind of going to be like drop biscuits or rolls. So you just pick it up by a teaspoonful and drop it on your pan. These biscuits or rolls, either one, would be really good for sopping up gravy or any kind of maybe vegetable juices, anything like that. Perfect. And like I said, I've heated my oven to 450 degrees. And you're gonna let these bake for probably 15 to 20 minutes. Just make sure that they're, you know, golden brown and good and done in the middle. Do one more row. Can never get my rolls or biscuits even. So do as I say, not as I do. But I'm telling you, once you make these, you will never make any other type of roll again. And there's the last one. Okay. All right, so again, oven is 450 degrees. I'll slide this in and we'll just keep an eye on it, and like I said, 10 to 15 minutes. And once we come back, I'll have everything out and plated and ready to go for you.
Egan Construction in Gate City is a fully licensed electrical, industrial, commercial, and residential contractor whose services include maintenance on home or corporate offices, custom designed kitchen renovations, demolitions, insurance restorations due to water dryouts, wind damage, or fire, licensed interior designing and architectural drawings, full excavations. They're licensed in Virginia and Tennessee. That's Egan Construction, 345 Water Street in Gate City.
We've got our rolls out here, and just gonna flip one out over onto the plate. They're still piping hot. And then I'm gonna go ahead and plate our Brussels sprouts. Put a couple out. And the longer it sets, the more it creams, makes more of like a roux. And then here we've got our chicken and wild rice casserole. And it does not stick well together, so you just spoon it out. Okay, so there we go. Our Brussels sprouts, our rolls, and our chicken and wild rice casserole. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed all of these dishes, and I really hope that you try them. They're really, really good. For the recipes, you can find them on my Facebook page. Just search for Everyday Living with Penny. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.